Hello, lovely light ones. I come to you from the foresty area with the Jakey man. You right, Jakey man? And wanted to touch on the energies that are coming up right now. I think there is definitely so much coming up within our bodies, within the collective. You know, as I go on and on about all the time. So we're about to enter this next weekend is coming up for the solstice energies. We've just been through the lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, which has carried with it some serious codes of revelations. And what's coming to me in my own personal life and when I speak to others is this recalibration of the masculine and feminine within us all. And like many of my friends always hear me say, you know, the women need to scream and shout and the men need to cry. I hold both blueprints, so I'm feeling what both are going through at the moment. And I was invited to a women's circle, and it made me understand a lot more about what women require at this time. And it basically was understanding how much I've identified as a man and as a boy, a little boy who basically wants to run away from that screaming feminine, the one that wants to be heard, or the one that either wants to be heard to go, no more, stop, or the one that wants to go, I love you. So either way, the masculine is running like, almost like, I don't want the drama, can't deal with that, you know, and because it's the masculine is being called to hold that. And both our masculine and feminine are being called. The feminine within us all is being called to speak their truth and to say no more if it's required, no more. To really be heard. The feminine needs to be heard right now. They need platforms, they need women's circles to need to be heard. And the men need to stop running from this energy and hold that. And we as women, when a man can actually own his stuff, his shit, and be in that vulnerable state, we need to be able to hold that man as well. And that's not easy for many women. And what's being played out right now is this triangle of victim, perpetrator, rescuer. And we're all one or the other at some points in our lives. And when we're the victim and the perpetrator are bedfellows. And if you're in that victim mode, you will manifest perpetrators. And then that victim, you know, looks for the rescuer. So the rescuer will come along. And when that rescuer doesn't turn out to be a rescuer, that rescuer could be another perpetrator, or that victim is like, turns into the perpetrator. Well, you were meant to save me. So this is a dynamics in humanity that is playing out and has been playing out for millennia. And this is what the nefarious ones feed as well, through fear, through victimhood, through not taking responsibility for our lives, our sovereignty, and our feminine power, or our divine masculine power that's within us all. We hold the two. And yeah, I mean, it made me really kind of understand a lot more when I was in this women's circle, who they wanted to talk about, like the predatory energy of masculine energy now, of men. And at the end of the day, I see men and women, they've never really been taught how to communicate to each other when it comes to a loving manner, or in a love way. And you know, men are lost little boys that don't know how to communicate with the feminine, and women are lost women who might have been told that men are dangerous and you got to play hard to get, and all these games that we play when we like somebody. At the end of the day, men and women, we all want to love. We all want to be loved. We want others to love us. And we don't have the tools to go about in a balanced manner to actually find that. You know, it becomes really, really tricky. And most of the time in love, when we fancy somebody else, we're not taught to be authentic. We're taught that if we're authentic, they'll run a mile. So these are the old programmed things that we are learning to identify and lift and clear right now. And it's a really big time for humanity, and there will be a kind of divide with the masculine and feminine as we recalibrate ourselves. I don't like to use the word healing anymore. I like to use the word recalibration of the sexes, recalibration of the masculine and feminine energies. And so, yeah, these codes, I wanna bring in these Wolambe Codes today in this beautiful, beautiful setting here. Just to bring courage to no longer be in that victim, to no longer be in that perpetrator dynamics, to no longer be the rescuer that might have been a victim and thinks, oh, I know what you're going through, so I know, and so I'm gonna fix you. And that is all bullshit. It's all bullshit. We need to be in our sovereign power. We are not victims. There's no point in trying to rescue another. And we can end this perpetratory existence and energy for another. And we might not see ourselves as the perpetrator, but we sure as hell perpetrate ourselves in voice and thoughts, when we beat ourselves up for doing something that we think is not right. So it's all on an inner level. The perpetrator, the victim, the rescuer, it's all on an inner level, and it's bringing that into the one sovereignty, the one sovereign power that we all hold. And that is when we can all come together and hold each other, hold that human when that human wants to scream and shout, hold that human when that human wants to cry his or her eyes out. And learning to hold with no judgment and not even any words. We don't even have to speak and say, oh, what do I do? I've had that thing where if a woman is not in a good way or in a vulnerable state, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. So I kind of get nervous and I run, like most boys will run from that. And so yeah, I bring in these Wolambe Codes for you with the energy of the Jakey man. Is tied up because he keeps on running off and chasing squirrels, teaching him not to leave the squirrel, Jacob. Leave the squirrel, Jacob. Yes. But we'll be going for a swim soon. So yeah. Oh, just allow these codes to go deep into your sacral, into this part of us, men and women. For women, it's the womb that we're clearing, and for men, this is for both of us the waters. This is the water where we carry the waters of our being. This is where we carry the emotional stuff, and this is where we can eventually express our emotions freely and authentically, and have it not be scary for others, because they'll see that everybody is doing that now. It's so important that when we are in love, or when we want to love or want to be loved, we have to be authentic, and without the worry of what people think. If you're around people who judge you for how you are, maybe you're not around the right people. Find your tribe who accept you and hold you when you want to purge. Find your tribe that accepts you and holds you when you might be grumpy or in a bad mood and want to kick off. And they just know, this will pass. PK will be back soon. So yeah, it's kind of time, isn't it? But just allow these codes to permeate deep inside your sacral chakra, the orange center, and allow you to express your emotions freely, taming the oceans within your being. Kimula dati titin mo kutulana, telele kitalidalana manalana, yele kiti tulo kutayana, aya. Oh, oh, oh. Kibati telele kiti mamu kutululo, kibala dalama, kalama nanalano, oh. Kebabati tima mula deo, oh, oh. Chaka chaka chaka, kibadile. Kimana dila kibati tu kude dalena ya kibadi de but tule de ya kibale kitele manake ti tu katule de babasa ti mamana dele mat tule de yay hey 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 ouch ouch ouch. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your ears and all your senses upon me in this now moment. Let's find that courage in love. Let's find that courage to be our authentic self. Because unless we are our authentic self, how can we truly find authentic love? Something to ponder. Oh, I love yous all so much. Love you, Jakey. I'm going to take you swimming now. I promised. Love yous, love yous, love yous.